Good afternoon, dear candidates. Okay, I'm pretty sure you are having a wonderful time in one of the best academy in the country, which is spread over 28 acres with the best GTO ground and with best facilities a candidate can ever get. I'm sure you guys are having a great time. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, as promised, today these guys are going to see the second mock interview or demo interview. They have already seen, usually we carry out only one interview for a post, but they are exceptionally lucky because of February month they are still here.
You can now download the SSB SureShot app from Google Play Store to access online courses related to SSB, personality development, and written exams like NDA, CDS, FCAT, and plenty of other preparation material. For a limited time period, you can apply the coupon code SureShot20 to get a flat 20% discount on all the courses. Hurry up and become a part of the SureShot family.
Today, you will be witnessing an interview of a fresh candidate. As I told you in my interview class, also in my marking system and conference process, how important is the interview process. Let me tell you, dear candidates, interview is the key to your success. Though all the three techniques are equally important, you've got to do well in all the three techniques. Never take any technique lightly because it is a three technique based test and each technique has its own importance. Why the interview is slightly carries a more weightage indirectly? Because who interviews you? Either the president or the deputy president or the interviewing officer. There is only one fact, though it may not be very relevant, just for information. The marking system, 225 with each assessor. Am I right? You know that?
Yes, sir.
And 225, 225 and 225 with the interviewing officer are same marks. But slight difference is in the conference marks. You have the conference marks also 225 and they are divided as 56 with the GTO, 56 with the psychologist and 113 with the interview officer. Though let me tell you, in spite of that, all the techniques carry equal weight. Let there be no doubt. But simply because of their more experience, because of their position in the hierarchy, during the discussion, indirectly or naturally, I will say, the weightage in their words are definitely more. And therefore, the chances of a candidate become that much brighter. Secondly, I must tell you, if you ask any assessor, the interviewing officers are known to give very good marks, liberal marks, if they find the candidate suitable. Because I have checked it personally. You ask Brigadier Venu, who is interviewing you all, see this. If I ask him, what is the highest marks you have given in your SSB career? He says, sir, 155. And I have given numerous candidates 135 and above. And he asked me, what about you? I said the same. You say 155 is your highest. My highest is one mark ahead of you. 156 I had given to one candidate. But that was only one. But generally a number of candidates got 135. So GTOs and psychologists, they do give the marks, but their marks have never been that liberal. That's what I have observed as a commandant. Because they are little more strict, but they also justify their assessment. Let there be no doubt on that. That's why it's a three technique based test. If you only do well in your interview and do not do well in your psychology and GTO, forget about passing. Because you've got to get respectable marks where the GTO or the psychologist can say, yes, I come up for it. Look at that. You saw that I covered it yesterday. So guys, you will see a fresh candidate's interview. A fresh candidate will exactly go by the process which I have told you during the interview process. Firstly, I will do a bit of rapport building. I'm yet to see his PIQ in detail. So I will see where does he belong, how has he come. I might ask some simple questions based on that, so that the candidate is comfortable. What do I do thereafter? After that, I may ask him a couple of more questions and then straightway go for the CIQ 1. You know that it is his educational background, friends, etc. You have been taught about it. And the CIQ 2, obviously, what I will ask him about? His family. Okay? So these interviewing process, that's why it is called semi-structured process. Because half the thing you already know, what you are going to be asked in the SSB, you already know. That's why, what are you scared about? Why are you nervous about it? So today is a very interesting day where you will see now a candidate, what mistakes he is doing. The candidate is waiting outside. You'll see him. And you'll realize, which I am telling you beforehand only. Most of the candidates, let me tell you, the selection rate in the SSB is 3.6%. But I always tell them about 10.5 to 11% candidates could have passed. What happens to remaining 7% candidates? Simply they fail. They are almost there. They are generally 135 to 140. Sorry, 235 to 240. 240 is the discussion marks. They are generally above 230. But they can't come up for discussion because they may have done some minor mistakes. They could have easily come up for discussion. What mistakes they do? Simply 4 or 5 things which a candidate should never do. The first thing I notice in a candidate, they are too nervous, too anxious, too tense. The second thing I notice is that they are too serious. You know, as they are carrying some huge weight. And after that, you will find their communication skills is lacking. Their power of communication is not up to the mark. See this. A candidate may be knowledgeable. If he can't express, then what is the use of his knowledge? Is there? And another thing you'll find is lack of confidence. You'll see it. If confidence is lacking, power of expression is lacking, he will lack the energy. He will not be energetic. He will not be enthusiastic. He will not look that motivated and passionate, which we can make out because it is seen right in the beginning. Then we see whether he is sure of himself. I hope he is not battling too many self-doubts. Will automatically come to know, is he bold enough? See, these are the things which you will be able to see in first 7 minutes. Today's interview is very interesting because you guys are also going to assess him. So the assessment process, you know, my candidates will assess him. These people know it. Out of, you'll be assessing him. I will assess him as per the SSB procedure. Out of 225. Since you do not know that, for a simplicity sake, you will assess him out of 100. 50 and above is the pass. 45 and above is upper borderline. It means the candidate can pass after 4 or 5 months if he carry out some improvement. If it is 40 to 45, what is he? Lower borderline. He will take approximately maybe a year. And if it is 35 to 40, he is low average. He is, below average. So he will take a little more time, say a year and a half, because he has to take care of his personality. And if he gets 30 to 35, then he is low average. He may take a little more time. It means his personality, he has to groom it. He has to get trained. And he has to come up to the level of an average officer. If he gets 30, below 30, then I always say that he got to reconsider his choice. He may not be having the right aptitude for the armed forces. See, some people lack the aptitude for the armed forces. You saw our president, Kalam, also failed in the SSB, guys. And perhaps he did not have the aptitude for the army. So don't worry. Even if you do not have the aptitude, some of you, if it is true, you can develop that aptitude also. It is also amenable to change, but it will take longer time. You can ever change your aptitude. If you like something from the core of your heart, you can change your personality, your likings, dislikings, everything. Okay, guys? So, are you ready for this interview? Yes. So that is how you are going to mark. I will mark him out of 225. Then I will give you a brief why I have marked him, why I have passed him, or why I have failed him, why I have kept him at average, or whatever may be the result. It will be explained. We will tally the marks together, and I would like 5 of you will get up and give his comments or her comments. They will give what marks he has got and couple of his mistakes, shortcomings you people can give. Same goes to you. I want minimum 5 people. I may give chance to 2, 3. Is that understood?
Yes, sir.
Are you guys ready with your paper and pen?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Once I ring the bell, the candidate who's waiting outside will come. I would like everybody to keep absolute silence. Absolute. So that there is no disturbance in the interview process. Is that understood?
Yes, sir.
So shall we go ahead?
Yes, sir.
This person is Siddharth Teg. He is from Secunderabad at the moment, Hyderabad, Telangana. Okay? 10th he's got 83%, 12th 74, and BCA he has done, he's got 70%. His father is an MES. I'm just telling you because you are going to assess him. Okay, plays football, parasailing, short service commission, reading is one of his hobby. Okay, so now I'm going to call him, guys.
Good evening, sir.
Good afternoon, Siddharth Dubey. Please sit down. So, how did you come from Secunderabad?
So actually my native place is Shillong. I'm not residing in Secunderabad. My father was posted there, so I basically boarded a flight from Guwahati to Bangalore.
Okay, then why have you written Secunderabad as your...
So that is my maximum place of residence. I'm born and brought up in Secunderabad.
Okay, you are born and brought up in Secunderabad. Okay, that's wonderful. That's what I was asking. Okay.
Yes, sir.
That's okay. You belong to any place, it doesn't matter that much till the time. Okay. So relax and sit at ease. Comfortable? Yes, sir. So tell me, Siddharth Dubey, since you have stayed so much in day. Okay, Siddharth Day, you are right. Okay. Tell me, why do you think the name Secunderabad?
Secunderabad.
Yeah.
So I don't know the derivation of the name, sir, according to the place. I don't know. I don't have any idea about it.
Okay, doesn't matter. Okay, tell me, since you come from Secunderabad and Hyderabad, tell me why historically they are famous. Tell me 3 historical reasons.
So first one would be Charminar,
Okay.
second one would be Golconda Fort, and third one will be Falaknuma Palace, sir.
Okay, tell me who made the Golconda Fort?
So basically I think it's Nizam of Hyderabad.
Okay, okay, Nizam of Hyderabad. Okay, okay, okay. Siddharth Day. So you are keen to join the armed forces, maybe because of your background. You have seen the army fairly closely. Yes, sir. Okay, tell me. Suppose you get selected. Why do you want to join the armed forces? What are your reasons for your
So first it would be my lineage, sir. My grandfather, my father, my uncle, all have been serving in army. And secondly, it would be my upbringing, sir. I've seen this life, I've lived this life, like from attending reunions, Barakhana, seeing the army demeanor, persons and people, attending the welfare and all. I've lived this life, so I think I won't do justify if I happen to explore any other sphere other than army, sir.
Okay. Tell me about your grandfather. Which regiment he was from? When did he retire? And what was his trade in the EME? I would request you to listen to the question properly.
Yes, sir. So basically he was a vehicle mechanic. He was in EME Secunderabad and he retired in 1987 from the rank of Havaldar.
1987. And tell me, if you get selected, which regiment you want to join and why?
So basically I go with 1/11 Gorkha Rifles because going by the likes of Manoj Kumar Pandey, sir, highest military gallantry award, Paramveer Chakra. And being native from my place, there is a regiment called 58 GTC, Gorkha Training Center. So I've seen that name, so seeing those men, it inspires me a lot. They are brave heart, like they don't, that would be my thing, sir.
Okay. Okay, you seem to be very keen for the infantry. Yes. So can you tell me how the infantry unit is organized? Can you tell me how a unit, what all a unit has? It's a basic broad organization, can you tell me?
So I can't explain you the structure of the unit but basically I can explain you that there are 1,000 persons in a battalion, and if as far as Gorkha Rifle is concerned, there are 7 regiments in it and 39 battalions, and 1/11 Gorkha Rifle situated in Varanasi.
Okay, tell me simply, let me see if you can tell me from smallest subunit to the highest subunit, can you name them? Yes. Just to give you a hint, the smallest is a section.
Section, oh, I can name it section, after that platoon, and then after that unit, battalion. I don't know the proper sequence, sir.
Okay, doesn't matter. Let me see, you know so much about the armed forces because of, as you say, you have your tradition of the armed forces. Can you tell me how many commands are there in the army and where are these commands located?
So northern command would be Udhampur, central command would be Lucknow, south central would be Pune, eastern command would be Kolkata, western command would be Jaisalmer or somewhere in Rajasthan, I am not quite sure of it, and there is one command in Chandigarh.
Which command is in Chandigarh? Anyway, you left out the western command which is in Chandigarh and the southwestern is in Jaipur. Very quickly, can you just tell me what is the rank structure of the army from top downwards?
From lieutenant,
Now, top downwards.
so GC and other ranks.
Top downwards. Yeah.
General, Lieutenant General, Major General, Brigadier, Colonel, Lieutenant Colonel, Major, Captain, Lieutenant.
Okay, tell me 2 PVC winners of the Indian Army other than the Kargil war.
Paramveer Chakra. It would be Shaitan Singh and Somnath Sharma, sir.
Okay, tell me which regiment they were from and when they got it.
Shaitan Singh would be 1962. Somnath Sharma, I can't recall the regiment, sir.
Okay, by the way, both were from Kumaon.
Yes.
Somnath Sharma was the first one for Kumaon. Okay, 47-48 war. And Shaitan Singh was from 62. Okay, let me now ask Siddharth about your educational journey. Right from your 10th class, please tell me about your academic performance. How have you done academically and how have you done in your sports and extracurricular activities? Tell me, in 12th, what was your favorite subject and what did you choose after 12th and why? Also tell me about your close friends, what kind of friends you like, what kind of friends you do not like. Tell me about your most inspiring teacher, why you like it. Okay? And also cover after 12th class till now, which all competitive examinations you have given and what was the result of that. And lastly, what exactly are you doing now? Yeah.
So I scored 8.8 CGPA in my class 10th, and then I opted for science stream, and then I scored 75% in it. My favorite subject was computer science, so I pursued my graduation on it, Bachelor's of Computer Application. So my favorite subject was computer science, so I opted my graduation in it, Bachelor's of Computer Application, and currently I'm pursuing my master's in it, Master's of Computer Application. And as far as competitive examination is concerned, so I appeared NDA twice, but I failed because I'm not as maths. I'm not compatible with maths. Like it's not much. I couldn't comprehend any of the thing, and that would be my weakest subject, sir. And other than that, I appeared for CDS, and recently I gave my CDS on 7th February, and last run it was. And so can you repeat the last question, sir?
Okay, I asked you about a teacher, I asked you about friends, which all competitive examination also includes if you have given something for your admission, etc.
Yes, sir.
And yeah, so tell me all about it.
So my favorite teacher would be my physical education, sir. Sir, actually seeing by the nature, physical education is not considered as an prominent subject in terms of competency if you opt for science. So, but then his nature, like he's so amicable and friendly with other students. Even after the alumni, they leave their alma mater. He's so amicable. He wishes everyone, like he knows how to deal with the students like in a friendly manner, like not limiting his state of demeanor to being a teacher and not like agiling things in a different manner, sir. And as far as my competitive examination is concerned, so I have appeared for JMME. It's basically an state level entrance examination for MCA, Masters of Computer Application in Assam itself, and I got 18th rank in it.
Are you preparing for defense written exams like NDA, CDS, AFCAT, or Sainik School Entrance Exam? Join our written exam preparation courses, practice mock tests, and get expert mentor support. Call us at 725-940-7111.
Okay. So tell me, since you are computer expert, very clear what all you have done. Tell me how many bits are there in a byte?
128, 64. So actually computer is quite a volatile subject, so I won't be able to recall anything.
What is so volatile about it? I simply ask how many bits are there in a byte?
So 64 bytes.
What is the logic of 64 bytes?
So to store memory, sir.
Okay, tell me how many bytes are in a kilobyte?
1024. 1 MB equals to 1024 bytes.
Can you tell me why it is 1024? Why not 1000?
No, sir.
So you have studied computers, you don't understand this simple binary language. It is 0 and 1. It has to be to the power of 2. Yes. So how much to the power 2 is 1024?
Power 2, 1024. So I don't know.
Okay, doesn't matter. You may not know that. Tell me now, a simple question I am asking you. Since you are a science student, may not be good in maths, but otherwise good in physics. Tell me, how do you explain escape velocity?
Escape velocity is the velocity we will project something into the space and it will leave the Earth sphere. And its approximate value is 11.2 km per second.
Okay, how much it is?
11.2 km per second.
Okay.
To leave the trajectory of the Earth, to leave the sphere.
Okay. Okay, that is the speed to escape from the Earth's atmosphere. Okay. Okay. Tell me now, in case your speed is 120 meters per minute, what will be your speed per hour?
Sir,
If your speed is 120 meters per minute, what will be your speed per hour?
120 meter per second per. I would multiply it to 60 divided by 1000 into 1000. 120. So 120 meter per second.
Yes, 120 meters per minute is your speed. So what will be your speed per hour?
So I need some, like I can't.
Okay, I will simplify for you. Suppose your speed is only 60 meters per minute. Now what will be your speed per hour?
1 kilometer.
Huh? 12 kilometers. How do you say that? How have you calculated?
Can you repeat the question, sir?
Okay. Do you understand meters? Yes, sir. Tell me how many meters are there in a kilometer?
1000 meter equals to 1 kilometer.
So how many centimeters will be there in a kilometer?
1000 into 100, 10,000 centimeters, sir.
Are you sure?
1 lakh centimeters, sir.
Tell me again, is it 1 lakh or 10,000?
So 10,000 into. Yes, sir, 1 lakh centimeter.
Okay, that's very correct. But a simple question on your speed, you are not able to think it over later. Okay, you play football. Tell me, what is sudden death in football?
Sudden death. So I hadn't heard about this.
You've never heard?
No, sir. So actually I left this sports. I haven't been in touch with the sports after my class 10.
Okay, tell me at least one thing. What is the distance of the penalty shoot, or what is the height of the goal post? You can tell me one out of this two.
So 8 into 8 is the height of the goalpost and 12 meter from the goal line, sir. We take the penalty.
So it's a 12 what?
So 12 yards.
12 yards means how many feet?
12 yards. 22 yards. So I don't know.
Okay, 12 yards means how many meters?
So I don't know. I don't know any scale, sir.
We'll proceed now. Tell me. In our atmosphere there are various layers. Can you describe these layers from bottom to top?
Yes, sir. Yeah. Basically, it starts from troposphere, stratosphere, mesosphere, mesosphere, exosphere.
So tell me, in which layer is the ozone layer, and what is the role of ozone layer?
Basically, it acts as a shield for UV rays, and ozone that would be its primary function, sir. It acts as a shield for UV rays, which is harmful for our skin.
Okay. Tell me why it is getting depleted.
Because for increasing the amount of chlorofluorocarbons and freons. There's an element called freons in the atmosphere.
So, what do you understand by greenhouse effect?
Greenhouse effect is basically it's a lightroom for earth shielding into a mirror structure where the gases which should have shielded out or went out, it's being concentrated in the inner layers of the atmosphere and increasing the inner temperature of the earth.
Okay. Tell me, which are the gases which emanate, you just mentioned? Which are the gases which emanate because of the greenhouse effect?
Methane, nitrogen, sulfur, carbon, methane, nitrogen. I could recall all these things.
Can you tell their chemical formulas?
Methane would be CH4 and sulfur dioxide SO2, nitrogen dioxide NO2. They both are responsible for acid rain, and the third carbon would be C. It's a tetravalent element.
Okay. Okay, now tell me, Siddharth, about your family. How many members are there in your family? Who all are there? What kind of relationship you share? Tell me, who's your role model in the family and why? Tell me two qualities which you like to emulate from your father and two things where you would like your father to improve upon. Also tell me what two things your father likes in you and what two qualities you would like you to improve upon. Yeah.
So my family consists of 3 members: my mother, my father, and my grandmother, and I am the single child. So the second question would be the characters of my Sahi. Forgot the.
So you better listen to the question. It's a very small question. I asked, who is your role model and why? And two qualities, your father, and two qualities, what he likes in you, and two things which you would like your father to improve and you to improve upon. Go ahead.
So my role model would be my father, of course, because of the plethora of experience and achievements he has achieved in Indian Army. He was in services play in Taekwondo and in parasailing team. Like he played national in his Taekwondo and got out of turn promotion. And two traits of my father would be his social adjustment. Like he hasn't socially he can adjust to any matter. I think that trait has been imbibed into the army itself. And second would be like the perseverance in difficult situations. He doesn't lose hopes and motivates the family to think positive and guides the situation come out of the situation to each family member. And two traits that he likes in me, I do. It would be like lately I have been determined to get into the army. Earlier it wasn't a thing. So and second would be like he's appreciating my efforts. Like I am working day to day. I can't give a comprehensive trait he would like because I hadn't seen in that sense.
Okay, you never thought what two things your father would like you to improve upon?
Firstly, basically, he would like me to get up early in the morning.
Okay.
That is the first thing he's poignant about every day. He's upset like I am dreaming to get into the army and not able to get up in the early morning. And second thing would be me lacking in social social spheres. I don't easily open out with people, so he wants me to improve upon that.
Tell me, you have written reading as your hobby.
Yes, sir.
Can you tell me how many books you have read? Tell me the best book you read in your life and what two things you learned from that book.
So the best book I'm reading is currently now. It's by Jay Shetty, Think Like a Monk. It instructs you into the inner engineering about yourself. And I have developed this habit lately by seeing a native officer naming Gaurav Pukasthar. He instructs us to read into seeing his knowledge about vocabulary and his oratory skills. I got inspired from him and I started inculcating this habit of reading, sir. I've read, other book I read is about Lieutenant General Satish Zua, the man who executed surgical strikes. It's an exceptional book, sir. And the other would be, I've read comics and all, defense comics and all.
Okay, tell me now, simple question. If I ask you, what are your 3 strengths and 3 weaknesses. Yeah.
3 strengths. So I would like to name my weaknesses into 4. 3 C's. It would be competitiveness, critic, and controllability. The controllability would be like I tend to manipulate persons, things like if they don't act according to me, I get like a bit agitated towards them. And third thing would be competitiveness. Like I do derive some feeling of enviness when the other person is tending to do good than me. In spite of motivating him or appreciating him, I tend to derive that fear act of jealousy into me. And third thing would be critique. When I don't have any, like I want others to comply with my own opinions, sir. I don't think that is a good thing, even if I am not right. That would be my 3 C. I name it as my weaknesses, sir. And basically, I contemplated from the book I am reading right now, Think Like a Monk.
Okay. I say that if I call you, you are a bit casual in your approach, a bit easygoing, a bit lazy, a chap who doesn't really stick to his routine, a bit indisciplined, a person who really doesn't go into details. What are your comments on this?
So I would take that carelessness comment, sir. I think I would I do have some traits in carelessness, and I am absent-minded as well. I tend to forget things like in pressure-mounted situation, and tend to forget things where I have kept them, and I get agitated to the other person, even if that other person hasn't done anything. And lack of carelessness is there, sir.
Okay. Okay, think about it. Do you actually follow your routine? Do you think you are disciplined?
So initial 2-3 days I stick by it. Then over the gradual period of time I tend to lose the focus and haywire the things.
Okay, tell me, do you have a girlfriend?
No, sir.
Why do you think the girls avoid you?
Actually, I had one. I don't have right now.
It's looking like I knew it. And you are, I could make out by your body who was telling you had a girlfriend. Why did you break up?
Sir, I wasn't the one who broke up, but it's because she held me responsible for not able to. She couldn't clear her needs. She held me responsible. That was a bit derogatory comment.
Don't you think you lost your temper on her unnecessarily?
No, sir. Like I was the like I stood by her when she was taking her coaching in Calcutta. So the day she couldn't, her NEET result was out. She made a derogatory comment that being with you, I wasn't like focused enough. So you held me back in my life.
So what did you say?
Sir, I hadn't said anything. I bursted out in anger, I guess. Yes, sir. Actually, the person whom I admire, whom I like, so when they don't happen to behave in my terms, I tend to get agitated to them easily, sir.
Okay, tell me, why do you consider yourself a leader? Are you a leader? Because we select leaders. Yes. Why are you a leader? Tell me please.
Why I'm a leader? I won't call myself, I term it as a pseudo leader, sir. I'm not fully a leader. I'm learning from other persons as well. From you as well, I admire your oratory skills, sir. The way you deliver your speech, it's highly pleasing, and that would be my reason, sir. And third would be why I'm a leader. So that would be an answer. I'm not a full leader right now, sir. I'm pseudo leader. I can't consider, like if I start considering myself as a leader, it would be like I would tend to imply the dominating factor into me.
Okay, tell me your 3 regrets in life.
The first one would be I hadn't made it in the NDA because of my lack of preparation and focus. Second would be I don't think my academic performances was not up to my mark. Like I could have taken it up to a bit higher level. I don't think it justifies my nature. Like being in my sphere, I could have done it better. My 12th performance or my graduation performance.
Okay, tell me who is your role model in life?
So role model.
Yeah.
So role model, firstly, it would be my father, and second would be my cousin, my uncle.
Other than your family member?
Other than my family member. So, can I speak in terms of athletes, sir? Athlete.
Anybody?
Sir, I highly admire Cristiano Ronaldo, sir.
Who? Cristiano Ronaldo is an athlete?
Yes, sir. Athlete in terms of sports, he's a footballer, so I classify him as an athlete, sir. Sports athlete.
Tell me, if you love Cristiano Ronaldo, what is his girlfriend's name and how many children he has?
So 4 and 1 son, and his girlfriend name is I know her girlfriend name, sir. I'm a bit anxious. I go.
Tell me when he was born, what is his date of birth?
So 2nd February.
And what was the best goal he scored in his life?
So against Juventus, that rollback kick. He was in Real Madrid that time.
Which match, where, when?
So it was in Bernabeu Stadium, 2017 UEFA Champions League.
Okay. Surprisingly, you know about him, but you don't know what is sudden death in football. Okay.
So I do know the sudden death, but I am.
Tell me, what is the difference between Article 370 and 35A?
370 is an article solely dedicated to Jammu and Kashmir, and 35A, I think it's implies about inheriting property in Jammu and Kashmir, sir. So 370, I'm sure it implies to state of Jammu and Kashmir having their own constitution, and Article 35 would be inheriting property rights, sir. 370 has been abrogated, sir. Like it had been amended and abrogated. It's not functional right now.
Okay, my last question is, let me see. If we give you a free hand to change 3 things in India, what will you change?
So first would be I would make stringent action against the molestation growing in the sphere of women, sir. Sir, third would be inter-road connectivity, sir. So coming from a state, like a region from northeast, the connectivity needs to be explored, sir. So it's quite difficult to get to the mainland. We have to board a flight, or we have to seek any other mode of convenience. It doesn't sound, it's not a pleasing mode of convenience, sir. And third would be, sir, the growing unemployment rate, sir.
Okay. Siddharth, that will be all. Okay, thank you, all the best. Because of the corona, I am not shaking hands, but come. At least.
Thank you.
All the best.
Thank you, sir.
Don't forget to subscribe to our new channel SSB SureShot Plus for exclusive new videos. Also follow us on Instagram for all the latest updates. Check out a SureShot guide to crack SSB on Amazon. The link is in the description below.